All right, so what is your one word of advice to those persons that have gotten married to their brother's wife because the brother is now late?
They chose to.
What about the wife?
They chose to.
She doesn't have a choice.
Why?
That's how the culture. It's the
If
tradition.
the person is not from Igbo, imagine that is a cross-cultural marriage, and before the marriage was contracted, you were not aware of this, or it was mentioned in passing, and you don't have a full understanding of it. You enforce that. It all depends. See, some of these traditions are predicated on knowledge, are predicated on capacity. My personal opinion, tradition and culture is a choice. Personal opinion, living by the culture and the tradition of the supposed place you originated from.
Pastor, hold on, please. Let me chip in something. I do not believe, for me here, that tradition and culture is a choice. It might be a choice in some way, but not majority. It might be a choice in maybe 20%. But for instance, I'm a Christian. I'm a full-born Christian. My whole life, my family, my immediate family, extended family, we're all Christian. But then, there's this notion I have in me that if I was born into a Muslim family,
you would have been a Muslim.
I would have still been a Muslim.
Yeah.
The same thing for your culture too.
I think differently. I think differently even with faith. I think differently even with culture. Right. And it is a personal opinion. Anyone can hold any belief they want to hold, but life is individualistic. I don't like to put personal stuff out there. My wife is a lawyer, right? Amongst several other things. We're married in courts. Yes, we had also the traditional right we did. But you know that our marriage is legalized. We're also married in church. Some of these things are just protocol. If I'm as knowledgeable as I am today, there's some things I may not do. I have friends who do different things based on knowledge. What holds sway is our marriage in court. In the eye of the law, is our marriage in court. You can't conscript me. I have a right. My wife has a right. You can't conscript her to be married to another person because I'm late. No, now.
All right, Pastor Blessing, I want you to clarify these two words. Separated couples, divorced couples. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's yet another exciting moment of the biggest podcast show in Niger Delta. And you know how we do it now. First of all, I want to say thank you to you all for waiting for us every 5 p.m. on Wednesday, West African time. We love you so much. Without you, we're nowhere to be found. But then, without wasting much time, we will go straight to introducing our headline sponsors. Number one on the list is the Belema Oil Producing Limited. Of course, you know now they are the truly indigenous Niger Delta oil company operating within this our Niger Delta territory. They don't just suck our oils and just go without forgetting to give back to their host community, without forgetting to pay attention to their corporate social responsibility. Trust me, Belema Oil Producing Limited got all of us covered. Up next, we have another oil company again in this same Niger Delta territory, making sure that this podcast is brought to a success, which is the MLJ Marine Oil and Gas. These guys are more than they for us. Corporate social responsibility, is it scholarship, is it providing startup seed capital for entrepreneurs in this Niger Delta territory? They got you covered. Without you guys, we are nowhere to be found. I want to say thank you so much. So without wasting much time, may we introduce my co-host Gigi.
Hi everyone.
Today's topic is very, 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 very unique. Before we introduce our topic and our special guest in the house, I would want to give the podium to Gigi to introduce the topic.
I don't know why I don't know why you just picked this for right now, but for those of you that are interested or that are listening, our topic for today is love, marriage, and relationships. And our guest, our very special guest today, is none other than Mr. Pastor Blessing.
You're welcome to the house, Pastor.
Thank you so very much. A delight to be here.
Okay, how are you doing?
I'm very, excuse me, I'm very well.
And you look it.
Very well.
I
Very good.
swear, I
Very
swear.
good.
He's active, he's active, he's active, he's active.
Okay, so let's start with our first question. So the first question I'm going to throw on the table here today is, what is your definition of love and marriage?
Wow. Love. Love is a beautiful thing. My definition of it. I don't know the perspective, but let's take it and in a particular order. Love is an affection you feel towards someone. Love is a decision. Love is action. Love is beautiful. So you define love as a decision to show affection towards a thing or a person.
A decision to show affection towards a thing or a person. I think that's really, really like interesting. So, Mr. Pokemon,
All right,
what
so
is
Pastor,
your
me, this topic is something that has never ever and can never ever be overemphasized,
Agreed.
right?
Agreed.
Now, before most people get married, they tend to go into a relationship, and in today's world, most youths are asked to abstain ourselves or themselves from premarital sex, right?
Good. Good.
And you can agree with me that a lot of people that are well known today, they've been together ever since they were little, up
Okay.
until they had children, they trained themselves, truly they love themselves, but they've been together, they did not get married. In this our Niger Delta territory, most of our parents grew up to even getting married when their children are all grown up already, right?
Okay.
So how would you define such a relationship?
Well, based on the terrain, I think there's a different kind of culture over here. I got married to someone from Niger Delta, and I can remember while we were going through the process, I told my when we had a meeting, and they were asking me that they heard I wanted to do the year marriage, and I said yes, and they were asking why. And I was like, is that not what marriage should be? And they made me understand that there is a Iguan, there is another one before you're married. There's that type of marriage where you just notify the family that your daughter is in my custody.
Okay, yes, yeah,
We are running
yeah,
things,
we're running things.
so that you are aware. There's another one that you pay a part of it, you've not completed it, and everybody's carrying on. And I said, no, I don't understand marriage to be like that because there are cultural differences. It's either you're married or you're married in my own part of the country. But also, when we put it in biblical perspective, I don't know where marriage is now treated as a contractual deal that you pay small, small. I understand that, and I'm not trying to liken an individual to an object. Never. I wouldn't objectify someone. But you can acquire an asset either holistically or you acquire an asset in piecemeal. And so if you're doing gradual acquisition, which is piecemeal acquisition, well, don't blame me. My profession as an accountant helps me to just put that nomenclature there. And I'm saying, no, this is, see, you have this or you don't have it. You don't do hire purchase in marriage. You don't do piecemeal acquisition in marriage. And that is what I want to do. They reminded me that because it's very expensive and all of that. I said, well, that's my understanding of marriage. So back to your question. I think the way the cultural evolution around here has gone, it gave credence to that sort of practice. I mean, in some other part of the country, it's not like that. It's either you're married or you're married. And anything in between is seen from a funny perspective. So I think culturally here, some of those things are allowed. But if you go biblically, I've never seen anything like that in scripture.
Okay, now I'd want to pinpoint something out here, right? If you look at the Christian world today, in those days, because I grew up from the Assemblies of God family.
Good.
The way we praise God is different from the way majority of youths praise God today.
Okay.
Why? Because a lot of youths, a lot of churches want to praise God in a modern way, because obviously we're no longer in the other century. We're in a new generation century right
Yes.
now, right?
Yes.
And it is appealing to God because, come on, you must upgrade. He's the one that gave us this idea.
Okay.
Also, I want to relate that this same time to the way we live our life as upcoming young people.
Okay.
If I have a lady that I love so much, I'm going to get married to her. And perhaps I don't have even the money to do she's in my hands.
Yeah.
I don't have, but truly I love her so much. And I also want to copy what my forefathers or my parents have done, as per staying with my mother till giving birth, and maybe in our 20 years of marriage, we're now getting married. Do you think it is wrong? Knowing fully well that I don't have, but then we love ourselves so dearly that we can wait for each other. And then we can also bear children as time goes on.
We can wait or we can't wait.
We can bear, as staying together with a lady for 20 years. Obviously, you are supposed to have a son or a daughter.
Okay, but the truth is, there's more to life than marriage. It's only an aspect of life. And the truth is, if you want to live life to its fullest and you're driven by life, marriage may not be the thing on your mind. I would rather think there's a high libido tendency that is making you think that you need to tie someone down for 20 years and have son or have. No, I would perceive that you don't even jump into marriage because of love. Because love is not sufficient for marriage.
Yeah.
It's one of the ingredients, but not the holistical ingredients. You know, it's like saying that I want to buy a car because I can afford to fuel the car. Fueling is not sufficient to own a car. There's more to owning a car than fueling the car. The same way, there's more to marriage than love. There's a part of marriage that love does not take care.
What part is that?
Oh, there's a part of marriage that love is one ingredient, just the same way you don't cook a meal with only oil. Oil rice, okay, we know it's oil rice, but there's maggi there, there's salt there, there's pepper there. If you cook the rice with only oil without those ingredients, you won't be able to eat it. The same way with marriage, there's understanding. In fact, you may even get along to marry someone you have understanding and don't love. Love will come later. Because understanding will better love.
But this love will come later is back then.
No.
Every young lady or young guy is looking for love. That's what they're looking for.
Everybody's looking for love.
Majority of people, they say, they find love. And when you do small things, you say, oh.
The truth is, people are looking for something, but they may not know exactly what they're looking for, but they brand it as the most populous word that is perceived to have tied two people together, called love. But marriage is beyond love. In fact, friendship is not love, but friendship is stronger than love. Because love is conditional. Don't forget, it's an affection you feel towards someone. So if that affection is a feeling, feelings are ephemeral. Feelings are not permanent. They come, they go. They are fickle. So does that mean when you don't feel love or you don't feel like loving, the marriage is over? If those other ingredients are not there, you can't build a relationship, a marital relationship, solely on love. Just the same way, you can't build this house only with cement. Cement is one of the critical ingredients. But there is a part of it that you deal with iron rod. There's a part of it you deal with blocks. There's a part of it you deal with other things that are beyond the other one you've mentioned, cement. So love is important, but love is not ultimate. Remember, I defined it as a decision. So it's transcending feelings to a thoughtful action called decision. So I decided to love, not necessarily driven by feelings. Right? So there's a part of it that your decision will come in, understanding will come in, friendship will come in, trust will come in. You can, and somehow, somewhere they are intertwined. They have some relationship and correlation. but only love is not sufficient. So people are looking for that thing, but they think it's love, and it's not love. And all of those things are not love. Love is separate from them, but they are a part of an ingredient that helps for a good meal called marriage.
All right.
I think that to add to what he said, I saw this quote online and it just bust my brain right now. I think they said women fall in love with the security that comes when you're with a man. I mean,
Where you
like,
see this one? You don't come.
no, like, when you're with a man that is financially, emotionally intelligent, he's stable, he's financially like strong and everything. There's this security and there's this peace that comes with that. And women fall in love with that, not necessarily because he's a fine boy or because he can play an instrument or because of something.
Yeah,
That's the
I
big
feel
thing.
you.
So that also adds to what he said. That
All right,
we
so
think
Pastor,
it's love,
please,
but it's not actually
I'd
love.
want you to handle this part of relationship, sex, marriage, where we have young people today that want to go into sex before marriage. I will still marry this woman, no. And in today's world, you know how the world goes. The Gen Z, the millennial generation, and all of that. I'll still marry this girl. Perhaps I'm not even cheating on her. But then the Bible says marriage before sex. And we're in this world today saying sex before marriage. And we are genuinely in love with one another. How would you, let's say you have a son, how would you address this? Or you have a son, or you have a daughter.
Oh yes, I have a son, I have a daughter. Yeah, but the truth is this: understanding that your body goes through different metabolic activity and hormonal differences and transformation at different stages. So what you feel during your teenage period, and you're thinking you have a strong crush and all of that, your body is active, your hormones are alive. It means you're normal, right? Then you get to a level that it looks like that fire is getting so hot, you can't contain it. Then it gets to a level where it looks a bit balanced. You have it on, but you feel it once in a while. The truth is, we live in a sensual world presently, and so everywhere you turn, you have a lot of sensual appeal. So it awakens, even if there's no natural drive, that consciousness is awakened by the reason of the world we find ourselves. So there is a high level of sensitivity and consciousness about that. So even the man that is not conscious of that part of their life suddenly just awakened to it, and you start seeing things you were not seeing before. But the truth also remains that there's a way you can lock it down. Some people have a grip on these things. That you see someone and they appeal to your feelings, and it's an emotional rush. It's an emotional rush. You can lock it down.
So
People
what
have
you're
done,
saying,
yeah.
if I must get it clear, what you're saying is a man, a grown-up man, majority of men these days don't marry early, like 20. They get married like maybe latest 35, if I'm
Okay.
correct.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be celibate if I'm not using the word virgin, up till
Use the word, call it what it is.
a man is supposed to be a virgin
Yeah.
till 35,
Okay.
get married, or a lady is supposed to be a virgin in today's world.
Yeah. The number of them out there, they are still there. And the truth is,
And be in a relationship.
the truth is, these things are overrated. Because 1, 2, 3, 5, 7 people are doing it, looks like everybody is doing it. And it's a function of the circle you find yourself. And people it's not insulative to say in this circle you don't find it. We're all mixed and intertwined. So you have a lot of people that are very sexually active, and you have a lot of people that are not even sexually active. You have a lot of people that are virgins, are celibates. You have a lot of people that are not, and they're having sex like breathing, not even single partner. So there is a lot of craziness out there, and there's also a lot of sanity out there. And the truth is, it will be difficult for someone who's sexually active and all they think about is that, to think there are no other set of persons who are not as crazy as they are. And it could also be funny for people that are sane, so to say, and are celibate, to think there are people out there that are just sensual and all they want to think about is how to have sex and all of that. It beats their imagination, and that's the real world. But this set of persons exist in the same space, environment, in the same universe. And I can tell you for free, it's a function of so many things: agent of socialization, upbringing, exposure, decision. Because no matter how much you're being tutored and being brought up the right way, the final decision lies with you. Either to be influenced or not, either to indulge or not, either to be carried away by the noise in the environment or not. And it's not a function of either you're in church or not, because even the church also helps you not to be, but you can choose to disregard everything you've heard. The choice still lies with the individual. But possibility, yes, it is possible. And it's still obtainable. I have a number of people, I mentor people, so I have a number of people who are crazy. I have a number of people who are sane in this same world of today, right? In fact, I was having a conversation with one of my guys, how many days ago? Today is Tuesday.
Today's
Not up to,
Wednesday.
or Wednesday, not up to 5 days ago. I was like, man, my body is doing me so much. You lock it down. You're not the first, you won't be the last.
So
And
what was his response?
I said, yes, that's why I came to talk to you. I got married as a virgin.
Are you
Mad.
for real?
Yeah. I didn't get married at 18 or 19 or 20 or 21.
Why should I believe
Yeah,
that you
well,
got
today,
married
well, I'm doing
as a virgin?
10 years anniversary.
Why should I believe? Oh,
No,
that's nice.
not yet. Less than a week. I'll tell you on the 26th.
Pastor, at what age did you get married?
You want to know my age? That's my
Okay, but then
yeah.
why?
I was above 30.
Why? Okay, why should
I
I
both
believe?
said, yeah.
Why should I believe that you got
I
married?
don't need
at-
you to believe. I'm telling you my experience. And you know the truth? Well, maybe you're not close to me. I have a lot of people close to me. The first thing you observe when you're around me, there's a regiment. Yes, I'm all laughy, but there's a regiment. I think I'm even one of, there are a number of us that are very regimented like that. But you don't wear it as a cloak so that people don't run away from you. You have some routines you keep, and it helps you. And I'm not antisocial. I have a lot of friends, male and females alike. And truth is, starting up in life, and as I related, had a whole lot of people that are not my pair, not my mates, that I related with. So I was privileged to benefit from the counsel of those older ones. And they are, well, maybe God helped me and planted good people my way, but also it's still a choice, because good people can be planted your way and you avoid them, right? So have people talk to me, have people counsel me, all right? And I imbibe the things they said. So that when I now have my peers, it's looking like you're talking over their heads. Some of them, there are other people that can relate with the things you say. And you see, if you're right, you can filter wrong. If you're wrong, you filter right out of your way. So you know what to do. Bottom line is still choice. Everything is governed by choice. And the truth is, everyone knows what is right and what is wrong.
Okay, hold on, Pastor. Please, talking about choice, Gigi, you bear with me that there's this part of the country, the Igbo people, that when you're married to a man and his brother, and then your husband dies, your brother will come get married to you. Have you heard of that, please?
Yeah, I have actually seen stuff like that.
You've seen?
I've seen it.
How is it like?
It's honestly very. I feel like because of like the coming of Christianity and everything, and how these traditions are now grown out of like place, people tend to like, would I say, ostracize these people. They say stuff about that. Oh, look at that woman. She married her brother's wife and stuff like that. So they say very like mean things behind their backs.
But then it happens in today's world, right or wrong?
It does happen in today's world.
Oh, really?
Someone getting married to his brother's wife because the brother is late, and then they do not see this as something that is bad, because they say they want to continue the brother's legacy or something. How
It's
would you?
tradition.
How do you see such kind of thing?
The truth, my
Still in the
personal,
same marriage.
my personal opinion,
Mhm.
tradition and culture is a choice.
Is it?
Personal opinion, living by the culture and the tradition of the
Is it a
supposed
choice?
place you originated from.
Pastor, hold on, please. Let me chip in something. I do not believe, for me here, that tradition and culture, it's a choice. It might be a choice in some way, but not majority. It might be a choice in maybe 20%. Or for instance, I'm a Christian. I'm a full-born Christian. My whole life, my family, my immediate family, extended family, we're all Christian. But then there's this notion I have in me that if I was born into a Muslim family,
you would have been a Muslim.
I would have still been a Muslim.
Yeah.
The same thing for your culture too.
I think differently. I think differently even with faith. I think differently even with culture. Right. And it is a personal opinion. Anyone can hold any belief they want to hold, but life is individualistic. Individualistic. Life is individualistic.
All right. So, what is your one word of advice to those persons that have gotten married to their brother's wife because the brother is now late?
They chose to.
What about the wife?
They chose to.
She doesn't have a choice.
Why?
That's how the culture.
It's tradition.
It's the
If the
tradition.
person is not from Igbo, imagine that is a cross-cultural marriage. And before the marriage was contracted, you were not aware of this, or it was mentioned in passing, and you don't have a full understanding of it. You will enforce that. It all depends. See, some of these traditions are predicated on knowledge, are predicated on capacity.
Does it have any,
I don't intend
does it
to-
have any positive impact? Just one.
I don't think so. Think about it. That we're talking about X and Y. X got married to the wife, and they are very financially balanced, financially buoyant. They have sound, good family relationship. Along the way, X dies, and Y, the wife, the wife of or Y, who is the husband or the younger brother or elder brother to the person who is late, now wants to inherit X's wife. Do you get the question? And X is saying no. It's a choice, depending on your pedigree, depending on your degree of knowledge. I don't like to put personal stuff out there. My wife is a lawyer, right? Amongst several other things. We're married in courts. Yes, we had also the traditional rites we did. But you know that our marriage is legalized. We're also married in church. Some of these things are just protocol. If I'm as knowledgeable as I am today, there's some things I may not do. I have friends who do different things based on knowledge. What holds sway is our marriage in court. In the eye of the law, is our marriage in court. You can't conscript me. I have a right. My wife has a right. You can't conscript her to be married to another person because I'm late. No, now. Except, of course, she's indigent. She cannot take care of herself. She cannot take care of her family. She's limited in capacity. No, there are always ways.
All right, Gigi.
There are ways to handle these things. Because it's not a talk for that. And I don't intend to disregard some culture, but I'm not a cultural man. I respect culture, but I'm not tied to culture.
Okay, so what I would say, or how I approach this topic is, I feel like there's something I was taught when I was much younger, is that there are harmful traditional practices. There are things that we have like normalized in our culture that are harmful to us. So, for instance, things like female genital mutilation. It's a cultural practice, right? But it's harmful to women because I think it was preventing women from having children at some point. So I think that we can also liken that to this situation because, like, what positive impact does it have on like the family, on even the woman, on let's say the children that might have been like that existed after the spouse or the person died? What impact does it have on them? Aside, okay, we are doing it because we want the man's lineage to, continue. But then what impact does it have at the end?
But the man has children. The children are bearing the name of the man. So imagine that This guy, I don't just want to mention it. This guy, Mr. Jones, I don't want to call him Baker Uche.
So I don't think that.
Mr. Jones is married to his wife.
Yeah.
I mean, they're thriving, everything is working. They've even relocated, and they're well established in this country and in their new country. Yet they maintain their indigenous personality of being here. And something happens along the line. Mr. Jones is late. Now, they've come in, they've notified the family, they've come for the burial right. After the burial right, Mr. Jones' younger brother or elder brother now wants to take over the wife. The wife that knows her onions, that is established, that can take care of herself, and they already have children. Maybe one of them is in high school, one is in college. No, if you're indigent and you're bereft of knowledge, there's to an extent that you can't fight for what is yours.
All right, Pastor Blessing, I want you to clarify these two words: separated couples, divorced couples. It's in today's world. I'm a journalist and I speak to a lot of women. I speak to a lot of guys. Me and my wife, we don't separate, but they've not divorced.
Yeah.
I just wanted to.
Well, divorce is
it legal?
In our society? Divorce is not encouraged in our Nigerian system.
Okay.
So it's not something you can just walk in and walk out. Hence, the procedure and the process is cumbersome and tedious. There are conditions that must be met before you can proceed on filing for divorce. Unlike separation is totally different. So I see it from this perspective that it's also a function of the two individuals. That's why in my opinion, marriage is not for babies, not for children. It's not because you've attained a particular age or stature. It's a function of mindsets. How grounded are you mentally? Because if already you have the mindset, if this thing does not work, I bail out, I will divorce her. Of course, the chances of it not working is high. Because the moment you don't burn bridges, you won't give it your best. So it means that your ultimate is not there because there are options. But when there are no options, you discover that you give it more than 150%.
All right.
You're telling yourself it's either it's working or it's working.
In the Bible, Pastor,
yes, please.
We have Old Testament, we have New Testament.
Okay.
In today's world, I strongly believe that we have then and we have now.
Okay.
What runs the world then, as per even when Facebook was brought to this world, is different from how the app works today.
Okay.
In today's world.
To the best of my understanding, it does not.
It doesn't support
it
divorce.
Doesn't, to the best
even
of my
when the
understanding.
marriage is toxic.
What do you call toxic? Let's define it.
Okay, toxic marriage. Maybe you guys are fighting. You guys never come to an agreement.
This singer that was having issues with her husband was beating her.
Yeah, exactly. That kind of marriage.
She should stay and she should die.
No. You're talking from divorce perspective.
Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't talk about separation perspective.
We'll still come to
the
that.
idea of separation is, that thing that happens where you've gone into some things and things are rough and you're taking a pause. You want to appraise. Yes, I know separation can lead to divorce. The tendency, two things happens after every separation, is that you go for full-blown disintegration of the relationship or you come back to mend fences.
Hold on, Pastor. Most times when people are separated, they live a wayward life. Mama goes sleep with one,
those
Papa
ones
goes
are
sleep
not.
with this one.
See,
and then you still come back again.
Don't forget. The sincerity in the heart of individuals is only known by those individuals.
Okay.
We are spectators. We don't know the real issues. One. Number two, someone is looking for a way to bail out and wants to take that step through a separation. Someone is disinterested in the relationship. People get into relationships for several reasons. Funny enough, I know about someone who said she got into the relationship thinking the guy was not serious from the beginning. She wasn't interested in the relationship. This guy is coming to check you and like, not serious. And you were playing along. The guy was, and you see, when you see someone with full steam, ready to do or die, when they're on your case, There's nothing as frustrating as that. And that's similar to this guy. I said, okay, she told herself she's so certain when she tells her parents about it, they will say no. Coincidentally, she brought it up, and the mother sees the guy, and the mother likes the guy. And yet, she could not still voice out she wasn't interested. She went on with the relationship. Traditional right. They brought bill. She knew she wasn't in. She continued. Now, you can see the height of deception. Bible says the heart of a man is desperately wicked above all things. And that's why when we tell people, do this thing prayerfully, because there's an extent to which your logic, your knowledge, your skills can help you. There's an extent to which if God does not help you, you won't be helped. I know it's very easy to say, what of those unbelievers that get it right? How many percentage of them? Because Bible says, except the Lord builds the house, the labor in vain that builds it. Except the Lord keeps the city. I know some can be in a hurry to say, what of the ones in church that pray all the prayer? Well, I know mine is beautiful. I know how it worked for me. I know that without God, it may not have been this beautiful. But there's a God factor. I cannot downplay that. I know how it's played out for me. Because you only know yourself. You don't know the intent of the other person. That they said they love you. Do they really love you? And people can demonstrate and act a script for as long as they want to, for what they want.
Are you also aware that in those days, our parents go into marriage, real marriage, and they do not love our fathers?
Agree.
And they grew up loving the man.
That's why I started by saying that love is not the only ingredient, but one of the ingredients. Some end up in that marriage being like conquered beings, adapted, adjusted, and made the best out of it. When life serves you lemons, you make a lemonade out of it. Some went there and endured it forever. Some went there and it was blissful for them. So we have these three categories of people, and people have their stories to tell. If they don't tell you the real stuff, you may never know. I am one of those people. I can say it's not hereditary. I think my parents got it right. Strength of imagination. I'm wondering, and I don't think it's luck. I think that to an extent they were helped by God. And I got into the same situation being helped by God. Even though there are also physical steps and checkpoints that you need to take cognizance of in the process of it. So I've said all of that to say, with respect to what you asked about separation, divorce, the case that was brought up, when it gets that bad and that's messy, no building would ever collapse without showing cracks. It meant from the beginning there were red flags that were either ignored or the person was ignorant not to recognize that these are red flags. This is not a kind of person you may want to spend the rest of your life with in a blissful way. There are people that got into relation, they knew the guy is from the street, she's also from the street, we're all getting it together. You break my head, I scatter in teeth. They knew that from, but when he now gets to good girl, bad boy, and good girl is seeing bad boy from, it will change perspective. That's naivety. Some got into it with a naive mindset. Marriage is not meant for the naive. No matter how naive you are, by the time you get into it, it will clear you.
Okay, all right, Pastor. I would also want you to clarify this also. Gigi, have you heard of, in the Bible, we had a lot of people who also found favor in the sight of God,
Yeah.
and then they got married to 2 or 3 wives. In today's world,
It wasn't favor that made them.
but they still found favor,
Okay.
God loves them, even till
Yeah.
in today's world, like in Warri, there's this man that got married to
19.
Yes, this is the 19th one. In Warri, this is our Niger Delta.
Just
recently, he got married to the 19th wife.
Mhm.
What is your word of advice to him? And he's a Christian.
Well, the truth is, either you're marrying 5 or marrying 1, the nature of God is love.
So you should love all the 19 wives.
I said the nature of God is love.
Okay.
God loves you regardless of who you are, what you do, what you're not doing, what you misdid. His love is unbending, and that's why He is God, right? That he loves you doesn't mean you're doing the right thing. And that he loves you doesn't mean you're doing the wrong thing. And that's why he's God.
So do you mean that man has done the right or wrong?
I'm only saying God loves him.
As a pastor, what's your word to that man that has gotten married to 19
Number
wives?
one, I don't know the man. I only read I just saw an headline about him. I don't know him. I don't know his reasons. I read a billionaire in Warri marrying the present day Solomon or something of that nature. I don't know what he's looking for. Right? I don't know exactly what he's looking for. So the truth is, and I don't know what the ladies are looking for, but he apparently looks like he apparently looks like a big Iroko tree. Provide shelter for quite a number of people. I don't want to get personal because I would have said I know a man that has several wives and took care of all the children, man. My own one. And I'm taking good care of. I think it's enough for me.
Okay, all right, Pastor.
Yeah.
Today's world, men scarce. Are they right or wrong, Gigi?
Men scarce.
Men scarce. Everything in the talk now, men scarce. We have a lot of young ladies that are being asked out, or perhaps they are going out with a married man, and the married man wants to get married to them. Maybe, or perhaps, he or she, they love themselves. What is your word of advice getting married as a second wife?
Like I said.
And then, because obviously, most of these girls they are pretty young and they're very pretty. What's your word of advice to that lady that has seen a perfect guy, although the guy is married, but then he's asking her out to say he wants to get married to her?
Is that really a perfect guy?
Maybe might not really be the perfect of my definition.
Okay,
they are both cool.
Let me tell you the truth.
Chances
that guy will marry that lady as a second wife is very slim.
Wow,
I don't know them.
This guy that got married
how many people?
19.
How many?
He got married to the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth.
That's one case in how many thousands? That's one case in how many thousands? In fact, in this part of the world, how many guys marry two wives? Take the statistics in this part of the world. What you see a lot of them do is married to one wife and have side chick. So a side cock with a side chick running things. That's what you possibly see. Unfortunately, most of those ladies didn't get the memo that you'll be used, abused, reduced, and left alone. The promise that
most
was
of them, they never leave them.
You know them? I don't know.
Sometimes they've been dating these guys for 30, 40 years.
Let me tell you, if you date someone for 40 years, that means you should be not less than 60 or not less than 55. 40 years, you started dating at 15 or 20. Even if you date for 30 years, started dating at 15 or 20.
Some of these young girls, they flaunt people's husband on their WhatsApp status.
I don't understand. Like, I don't get how you, as a single girl, as a young girl, you think that a married man who lives with
but then outside that, they are not ashamed anymore.
And the ladies are not ashamed, but most of the guys are ashamed.
They flaunt these guys.
Most of the guys don't flaunt the girls.
They post them on Facebook, on Instagram. Another person's husband.
But most of those guys don't post the ladies. Don't flaunt them publicly. In fact, when they do things with them, most likely they do things codedly with them. Does it not send signals to the ladies?
I think they are comfortable with being put in that side chick
category.
Like, it's like
you know the truth
I value myself too much to be a side chick.
The truth is, I think they are too naive. Why do you want to be a second fiddle? For what?
Men scarce now.
Who said so?
You don't understand.
What are they actually looking for? You're looking for money or you're looking for sex? You see, money is only important to a poor person. Someone that is not poor, his problem is not money. He sees that money is not even the definition of life. It's when you don't have money, you think money is the ultimate. When you start having some trickles, you start seeing that this money thing is overrated. Same thing like sex. When you're married and you are married to someone that you have sex as much as you want to, you don't see any big deal in sex again. Except you're being denied sex. Except you're not having good sex. Except also you have an appetite. You've been too sexual before you got married, so one person can no more satisfy you.
Okay, hold on, Pastor. I just thought about something right now. You know, the world is somehow in today's world, and then a lot of couples engage in threesome, foursome. In today's
You mean
world,
some couples, not a lot of couples.
okay, some
Yeah.
couples.
Yeah.
What is your word of
My word.
advice to those people who want to explore
I don't
with their
even.
partner?
I don't even have
Jenny.
I don't even have an advice for them. Do you know why? You know, it's simple. If you're not greedy and gluttonous, a simple meal is okay. When you have people work, for example, work in the oil and gas or very comfortable organization where you have lunch in the office and those lunch setting is a buffet, you discover that when it's time for lunch and you see their plates, you don't see an embarrassment of collection of food. It's just a simple, oh, today I'm eating beans and vegetable, and they are done. Because number one, the food is not running away. You will always have access to it. But when they have visitor who joins them for lunch, if they permit them, most cases, if those visitors are not used to it, you will see this, I hit here, I die. Because I'm not sure of any other opportunity. And same thing plays out when you go for fine dining or you have an opportunity to go for a buffet and you see people that are used to going for buffets. The food thing is, they don't even eat much. Actually, they're not going there because of they like the environment, they like the ambience, maybe the taste and the kind of people they meet. But when you see people that scarcely do that, when they are eating, you can tell from the way they serve. The same thing is applicable in marriage. And that's one of the danger of premarital sex or being very sexually active before you get married. You've created a lot of appetites that one person cannot satisfy.
Count.
And that's the danger. And that's the beauty of when you get married as a virgin, you've not had an X. There's no X, there's no Y. There's nothing called good sex. What the sex is the good sex you experience.
Yeah.
So you save yourself of the trouble of, why is he not doing it like Cynthia? Why is he not doing it like he? Why is he not? Oh, you're not doing it well. Why is it late? Because you've not had an experience before.
Yeah.
So what you have is the best for you. It saves your life of all the troubles. So when you have all of those unnecessary exploration, when you now get into marriage, it becomes very difficult to be satisfied.
All right. So before we conclude, let's talk about bringing people to this world. Most of us were not privileged to come from a wealthy family or maybe an average family. Let me use that one, an average family. Especially to we that focus is around the Niger Delta communities. Most of these Niger Delta families are not really well to do, but then they have 4 children. I've got this friend that told me I need to born now before I say I don't reach 50 years. And I keep telling him that, guy, it's not all about being I use one politician as an example. I wouldn't want to call the politician. Have you seen his children? He's how many years? And his children are just small. They just graduated from university. So why are you in a hurry to give birth and all of that? Now, what's your word of advice to couples that just got married and perhaps maybe no stable job or what or this, and they are having sex? And then also, in today's world, the Bible says, "Go into the world and multiply." You've married, maybe like 3 years, 4
Go
years,
into the world and multiply.
and multiply children.
No, that's not what the Bible says.
You're married.
Family
Family members will start disturbing you, madam. Start giving my son, daughter. And so, what's your word to them?
I live by some mantras. One of it is life is governed by choices. Nobody can pressure you beyond the permission you give to them to pressure you. I just had to use that in our local street language. In other words, nobody can put you under pressure. You only are put under pressure to the degree you permit yourself to be put under pressure. Understand that it is your life and you can run it the way you want. Either you run it well or you run it aground, it is still your life. Every decision is governed by consequences. So getting married early has its advantage, has its disadvantage. Getting married late has its advantage and disadvantage. Giving birth early has its strong side and its low side. And having plenty children has its low side and its strong side. But the truth is, when you see poor people, there's a pattern of thinking. With marriage, with children, with sex, with everything. When you see wealthy people, there's also a pattern of thinking. Life is governed by patterns, and people live their lives in patterns. So my advice to the young guy there, marriage is just one of the aspects of a man's life. It's not the ultimate. That you got it well in marriage doesn't mean you succeeded in life. Oh. Never. You cannot grade someone by only one subject. It's just an aspect. And for the ladies that are thinking life is not complete without marriage, it's a perspective. It's a perspective. The fullness of life can be lived and fulfilled with or without marriage. Was Jesus married? Was Paul married? We'll run through scriptures. So that you don't get married or you got married. Yeah, Peter was married. But that you got married or didn't get married is not what defines success or fulfilling life's destiny and purpose. But the way you handle it can alter, affect, contribute, or destroy your purpose in life. There are people that they get that part wrong. It slows them down, demoralizes them, paralyzes them. Before they pick up in life, time has gone. And there are people that get it right. It accelerates them. It speeds up their progress in life and makes their life journey somewhat easy. So life, you must understand yourself, understand your purpose. In fact, the story of Eve didn't come until there was an assignment that Adam has, that Eve is coming to help as a helpmate. Think about it. You don't have a job. You don't have a source of livelihood. You've not even gotten your pedigree in life. You think marriage is the next thing? As beautiful as marriage is, it can be done the wrong time and creates more problem. So it's not a function of marriage, it's a function of timing. So I think any young man should sit first in life. There's there's alphabetical order. Even M did not start from the beginning. It's somewhere in the middle. There are some things you get right before you set yourself. Because the moment you're married, your life is not the same again. You now have the responsibility of one other person, and the other person has a responsibility, and it's both ways. And those responsibilities are heavy. It takes time. It takes resources. It takes a part of you. That's why the danger of divorce is when people divorce, they're not the same. A part of you is gone forever with the other person. A part of the other person is with you forever. So you're not the same person. So there's an alteration in the setting of your being. It's unimaginable. Only people that have gone through it will tell you.
Okay. So you said something about timing. I think that's really beautiful. So let's bring the conversation to women now, because I am a woman. You know how people say that biologically it doesn't really favor women because by the age of 40 you're having menopause and you can no longer give birth, and that's why society puts pressure on you to
is it menopause or menopause? Menopause is 50.
Menopause is 50?
Yeah.
That was 40.
No, it's
It's
50.
different for everybody actually. So there are the people that are 30 something.
That experience early.
Yeah. So it's different for everybody. So what's your advice to women that are being pressured into marriage?
Well,
Biology.
I also think that it's a function of also the family you come from and also your level of knowledge, because you can also get whoever is putting you under that pressure, your mother, your parents, to make them understand some things. Number one, you won't marry yourself. And because you're a lady on the receiving end, but also there are things you could do.
Do you think those persons they have bad character?
No. I don't think so. I don't think so, because it's a function of several factors. There are some that they blank out that part of their life because of some other things they want to pursue. So because they've blanked it out, life is governed by seasons. Men are in sizes. Life is in phases. There is a phase that a lot of people dance around you. There's a phase that they trickle down. There's a phase, and there are a number of factors. You can also always recreate yourself. There are some that they only have limited exposure. Now, look at the exposure. You've gone to school. When you're in school, you have opportunity to associate and relate with a lot of people. Think about when you were in university. There are some people that they will mention they were in your class and you would never believe because nobody knew them. They were just silenced. They were not notable or noticeable. They don't ask questions. They don't talk to anybody. They put them in a team that do group work. They only say all they want to do. How much are we contributing? More than one. Whereas there are some other people, no, let's do it. They are not because they want to be noticed. Their nature is active. Okay, nobody wants to present. I will present. Even though I don't know it, people will laugh at them. They don't care. They yell at them. By default, when we all leave that phase, they can't talk. And that girl, there are people that are like that. What stops you, for example, a lady, from putting yourself out there? Because in that opportunity where you interact and associate with people, it's also an opportunity to get known. Because see, what you don't notice, you can't like. You only have affection to what you notice. So, and you can be in a group and someone decide to be invisible. Whereas some other people will decide to be noticeable in their dressing, in their conduct, in their disposition, a number of ways. Just the same way we go for youth service. And in the camp, there are some people that will be known. There are some people that will not be known. All they want to do, lecture is going on, they want to sneak back, they want to go and sleep, they go to the sick bay, they just avoid it. Whereas there are other people that will participate in almost everything. And people will know them. If you don't put yourself out there, you may not be noticed as a lady. In other words, you're putting yourself in a disadvantaged position. You find yourself in some offices, and some people are known, some people are invisible. And it's obtainable everywhere. So opportunity to relate, associate, integrate, some people run away from that, while some people run towards it. The more you run towards it, the more your chances are for a lady. Number two, why you notice that it appears that you're not disposed to a lot of suitors. What stops you from, it may be expensive. People keep their eggs. People mitigate against the evil. Life is all about planning. And trust me, even if we say it's expensive, how many people are that knowledgeable to know the aspect of their life? But they know other people's business. You see, we only know what we're interested to know. We only pay attention to what is of interest to us. So some people are not interested in their life, truthfully. They don't take their life serious. They're only interested in other people's business. And they have the tab on other people. But even that one which is your life, knowing that, guys, when they talk to me, you don't even notice that the attraction has reduced. That you need to recreate yourself. And this is talking from even a physical perspective. Being strategic. Some are careless with their life. What do you expect? So if you are that physically careless, some are even that spiritually careless, financially careless, emotionally careless. Some people are even giving them all the signal. They are not seeing it.
No, hold on. If I give a lady a signal that I like her, is she supposed to come and meet me?
No! See, this
is a modern world.
They're like contractual, right?
Okay.
Most of the time, you don't know people from anywhere. Not everybody is bodacious enough to approach. Some just want, soft landing. And every lady can pick those things, trust me. But some are that naive. Now that signal they give you, which signal? Beg, let everybody just day their day. You allow your emotions to control you. I'll save your emotions later. So there are a number of factors beyond the fact that some have some underlying issue, attitude issue, character issues, courage
I get
issue.
bad character. Allow me to deal with my own bad character. Any man will go marry me, go like me, like something like that.
Bad character, 5 and 6.
And some say that with pride, not knowing that they are disadvantaged. Nobody puts the bad foot forward. Every smart person puts their best foot forward. In law, it's called invitation to treat. You must attract. Why should you bad market yourself? Wrong PR, bad PR. That's for the unsmart people. And people think that's woke. That's what's in vogue. They do the wrong things with panache. Well, stupid people everywhere.
Okay, so I have one more question before we call it a day.
Shoot.
So this question is for young people because I'm a young person.
All right.
You're a pastor.
Mm.
I'm a child of God.
Okay.
And I want to know.
Child of the Lord.
I'm a child of the Lord, the Most High.
Okay.
So I want to know what is the best age to start dating because I love love. I want to experience love. I want to I want to like feel the feeling. So I want to know what is the right time or the right age to like say, okay, I want to go into a relationship.
Well, let me tell you, there's no right age. Just be matured. The
16
truth
years.
is, there's no right age.
16 years, Pastor.
60 years?
16 years.
16 years. Do you even know your right from your left?
At 16.
Yes.
There are some pretty mature people at 16.
Really? In Nigeria?
I'm not sure.
Don't forget. Do you know the reason why Nigeria demographic is different? Is because of our exposure. If it's in some other clime, by 16, you have some pretty knowledge about yourself. But it's our style of upbringing, our environment, our exposure. It's different.
Your parents will
So-
tell you that you cannot. Don't bring boys to
Eh,
my
no,
house.
no, even
If you
beyond
touch
that,
boys, you can't
even beyond that, do you know that the knowledge a 15-year or a 16-year has in Nigeria, if you talk with your contemporary outside Nigeria, you'll discover that there's a lot of knowledge gap.
There's a gap.
There's a lot of
Huge
knowledge gap.
gap.
So because of that, at 16, you're not knowledgeable over here,
Okay.
unlike over there. Even if you say, yes, you're running streets, a street boy here and a gangster in some other location, there's a knowledge gap.
Yeah.
There's a knowledge gap. There are things you don't have a liver, right? So it's a function of maturity, and just think about it. I don't want to put you on the spot. If I put you under inquiry, what do you really know about love? Because a lot of us don't do introspective and retrospective thinking. A lot of us just take what we're told. I really query what is love. Do you really know what is love?
Kind,
Live
patient.
that.
giving you Bible
Live Bible
yeah.
first. In application, have you been kind to yourself?
Self-love.
How patient are you with yourself? Because you see, if you don't get it right with self, when an outsider comes, you can only judge things from your perspective. If you look, if I interact with you for the next 5-10 minutes, I can tell you a kind of mindset. And for someone who has inferiority complex, who is dealing with baggages based on background and all of that, emotional trauma and all of that, and you say you want to fall in love, you know what that person will call love will be someone different from the picture of love you've experienced. So if I'm a lover boy, playboy, I've read all your stories. I know I'm just here to show you love. I do the contrary of every bad experience you've had. You fall in love with me. But I not only set a trap for you. Because to you, that's your interpretation of love based on where you're coming from. And me, I know what I'm looking for. So by the time I entrap you, I do it for a long time to make your mind at ease with me. I can thoroughly abuse you. And a lot of people are falling for that. Because it's what you're denied that if you experience in abundance, that affects your mind. True. Take, for example, we have a lot of bad governance. This is a political show. Bad governance. And when you have that leader that has done above and beyond what others have done in the time past, we call him savior. But he has only done what he's meant to do. And when you look at it, generally accept governance principle, you may be falling short, but we celebrate such a person. Why? Because we've been starved of the real thing long enough. That someone that tries to do above average who has not passed will now tell the person that is a Messiah. The same thing plays out in love.
Yeah.
So people who are victims of abuse, who are victims of situations like this, they have bad background. Maybe they've been raped, they've been abused, they've been
Or
scandalized.
even people that come from like dysfunctional families.
Like,
Maybe
they are the most
absent father,
victims. Yeah.
absent mother. You go around chasing men that are emotionally unavailable. These are things.
In fact, those people that are from dysfunctional families are a lot of people fall prey. When they now see a father figure, they try to advise you, they try to show you care and love. You just, you are everything. That in that minute, they take advantage of you. So it means that they don't even really know love. So what you don't know, when you see it, you can't identify it. And that was why I started with, do you even really know what love is? And that's a maturity point. So a lot of people, you see them get into marriage because they think they know, but they don't. So when they get in and they meet all the surprises with the complication of what marriage provides, the marriage will break. Because they're not even prepared. It's like a man who gets into the university. All through your secondary school, you were cheating to pass. Carrying expo to pass. You're not going to do, but we will run it again. After matriculation, you're still doing all those. Because the way you do anything is the way you do everything. You got into the hall and they are spacing you. You'll be looking for ways to cheat. And if it's a private school or one of those discipline schools, you will be caught. You'll be disgraced. And you're like, that's what it is. You'll drop out. Now, a guy that's also studied all his way, he gets to school, the same pattern. If they just increase it by 10 or 15 or 20%, it will repeat the same thing. So that is the fundamental thing there. That it's not the age. The age may be just a number. For someone who is privileged to be mentored, to be tutored, good background, exposure, studying, personal improvement, personal development, exposure to trainings and opportunity to hear some things, they are more knowledgeable mentally. They will do far better. And do you know, funny thing, you may be attracting an independent person. Your attraction is opposite what you like.
But then you have conversations.
Hold on. Listen. I'm telling you that you may attract an independent person. In other words, I like this guy. He locks it down. He's a go-getter. That's what it's not one. Do you know a go-getter is not, see that, how are you today? We've been here 2 hours. No, I'm still with you. A go-getter, today, I'll be with you. It's October 1. There's this production I need to do. Then you're like, stay with me. I'll call you. Go-getter is pursuing go. Oh, sorry, I've been busy. How are you? Talk to me now. You call me. Don't worry. I'll call you back. He's calling by midnight when you're snoring. Oh, yeah, now. It's now your call. I won't pick your call. Just the opposite. You're attracting an independent person, but you want a dependent person. Is that not a recipe for disaster? Now, is the application of it's not only the reading of the book. The application, how does it affect me? How do I balance it? Because if you don't distill that knowledge to practicable step, you have the knowledge, but it will work for you.
I'm getting my own.
That's the human dynamics to relationship. That's the human dynamics to it. So we have a lot of people. You come to church, be humble, be this, be that. Then you see the guy. This guy is irritating the hell out of you. And you gave it to him the way you're feeling. And you spoke some things you shouldn't have said. Humility means that thing you want to say, this guy is a fool. But James, this thing you did is unwise now. How can we plan that we're going to go out and you blew 50K and you don't have transport tomorrow because you love me? It's unwise. How many persons will do that? Blew 50K. He's now saying he doesn't have to. You should sort it out now. Yes, you've bragged to all your friends that this guy, do you have anything? He blew all this money. He's really in love with me. You're not seeing the folly in his action. You get married to him tomorrow, me can collect all the salary because my wife says it's her birthday now. Finish everything. Not finish her now. Oh yeah, now. No fuel in the car now. Our car stop on a barrel. I pay my carry the Ragulis. Let me buy 1 liter. And you're embarrassed. That was a microcosm of that future possibility. It's not discipline financially. Means we get to a point that house rent, time for house, 2 weeks ago was your birthday now, and I bought you that iPhone. That's why I don't have house rent. Landlord is not, I love you now. Is this
That's foolish.
so don't call it foolishness. When you saw the first signal, what you did was to say, it's not a wise, you had a conversation. You're going by love is kind and humble. The practicality of that message you heard from the training you attend is what you're applying. But your emotion is saying, telling me it's foolish because you're a vocal person. And you say, you're foolish. And the guy stopped the relation and said, no, this guy is disrespectful. He said, shouldn't I have told someone I love? Do you understand how to marry this thing? So, but not everybody knows how to blend that part. And now you get married to that kind of person and you're saying, because you're angry, your voice will go up. You will likely not filter your words. You will affect his disposition to you. He just insulted me. Don't worry now. Share another birthday they come. Another birthday now. Just wishing you happy birthday. My husband has changed. There's another guy there. Because when we were still dating,
Yeah.
you don't know that you were the ones that changed him.
Yeah.
Do you see the balance?
Yeah.
Now, what is lacking there? Emotional intelligence. Age is not a factor. Because you see some children, they have emotional intelligence, others don't have. So the application of knowledge is wisdom. But first, are we even exposed to knowledge? Talk less of applying the knowledge.
I mean, how many people want to read books on relationships?
Good! Why will marriage last?
They say go for therapy. Say no.
Why will marriage last?
But wait, I don't understand. In this Nigeria therapy, it is only for the set of.
So, a lot of us go to school, we're graduates, and we're still stark illiterate. We're traditional in our thinking. So the information we're exposed to in school that should shape the mindset, it's not shaping it because we have a rigid mindset that's not flexible. So because we're not open to knowledge, the knowledge cannot influence us. And once knowledge does not have a passage, you are growing old, but you're still a baby. So you're not changing, you're not improving, you're not flexible, you're not adaptable, you're not knowledgeable, you're not growing. So when you say character and learning, people think going to school is only to get that certificate and mechanical engineering. There's a social part of it. That's why they say teamwork, group A present. We thought it's assignments. The idea is not assignments. It's interaction. You discover that when the group, someone will become a leader. So let me write down everybody's name. Who appointed him? Nobody.
Yeah.
That kind of person in life will be outstanding. So I'm just watching them. I'm not see what they want to do.
Yeah.
It's only an attitude.
Yeah.
That's how you go watch for life.
If you employ that person,
my man say, my guy go do that. If they don't tell you to do anything, you don't do. Lack of initiative. You're not creative. You're not a self-starter. You can't be an entrepreneur. If they don't instruct you, you don't. So you don't see opportunity. So if you there, you don't see. Another person, okay, now even and not just contribute money. They are bringing ideas unsolicited. But yes, some other people fold. Let's see what they will do now. And some other people will there. Now this thing, I will go carry last. No, this kind of group they bring in. Already, you see, life can. You see, I've made a mistake. I think I married this girl. They're all temper already from that beginning. Some people already seen a broken marriage. Another person is saying, okay, I'll go with manager. I know what to do. And she vex when something pain her. So when something pain her, I think your thinking, creativity comes in. And that's why you'll be wondering, how did this guy marry this girl? And they say they have a peaceful home. And yet that girl will not insult the guy. Because the guy already has a password. He's not throwing money at someone. He's understanding the behavioral pattern and thinking of how to align. Some people have bosses that they can't cope with and they resign. And after resigning, they never got another job their life. That's the job sense to help their destiny. but because they can't manage human behavior. When some other people are in that same office, and the madness of this guy does not affect them. They know how to handle the sorry, man. They know that if you just apologize immediately, the fire does not breathe. The one with that emotional intelligence, you want to explain, you're pouring gasoline in the fire, and the whole place, and you didn't understand the pattern that okay, this person does not like when you're wrong, you talk. So they just want you to keep quiet. Or when you're wrong, just apologize. Oh, sir, I worked in an environment. This guy, they follow steady. But when they don't follow, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir. Don't tell me I'm sorry. You're telling me something. No, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. And you will look sober. I'm sorry. You will still do it tomorrow. You see, he has fallen now. He will not come. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. And when he come, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir. Just go. Just go. And so you just escape the thing. What does it take to say I'm sorry, sir? I feel when you know you will always fall in love. It's first an attitude. And marriage is that place that, see, every bad behavior is like a spotlight. You're wearing white. Marriage is the stage where you appear on, lights are on, every spot will become obvious. Magnified. If you're intolerant, it will be. If you're dirty, it will show. If you're lazy, it will show. No. The thing will just put you out there. And after a while, it will crack the institution called marriage. If you're patient, it will show. If you're supportive, it will show. If you're irresponsible, that's why a lot of people can be married and be philandering. Unlike when they were single, they had it in their hearts, they manifested it in marriage.
All right, sir. We've touched a lot.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, all right. So much.
My hero is talking.
I swear.
Sorry, I said the sex.
I swear. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of today's episode of this biggest podcast show in Niger Delta. Today we have a very, very important guest in here. Pastor Blessing Isijola. We want to say thank you so much for having us. You've really dealt with this particular topic. We want to say thank you. See you same time. We would have something similar to this again and invite you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you for sticking with us from the beginning of this podcast to the end of this podcast. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms at GistCity on YouTube and on Spotify. Bye-bye.
Don't forget to freeze your eggs.
Yeah. All right.